Welcome to China Horse Business, the one and only podcast focusing on the booming horse market in China, bringing to you by two experts of Chinese equine industry, Zoe King and Jojo Wang from Shanghai and Hong Kong, introducing China to the world.
Hey Zoe, this is our 40th episode of the China Horse Business Podcast.
Wow, we have been releasing our podcast once a week without being hindered by wind or rain. During these 40 episodes, we have built up the listeners' pool and the friendship around the globe.
We have succeeded in helping connect overseas job seekers to China employers, business products and surveys to China organizations, and even horse lovers to riding clubs.
One very touching thing was we have interviewees who spoke in our China story section, even sent us an appreciation that they have increased inquiry after speaking in our podcast. And I am so grateful for that.
Hey guys, if you have any China horse story you would like to share with our audience, it can be your experience in China, your relationship with Chinese people, or even riding a Chinese horse. You are welcome to write to us at contact@wonder-horse.com and we will pick out exciting story to share every week.
At the same time, please don't forget to like and share our podcast with your friends and people you think that may be interested in listening to our podcast. Without further ado, let's begin our China news today.
Australia is always one of the most famous thoroughbred purchase locations for Chinese owners. Thanks to the location advantage, it is easier for horses to fly over comparing with European countries and less time difference. Yet, most importantly, Australia's racing companies invest more aggressively to promoting China racing industry, especially supporting local auctions and sponsoring events and races.
After the 2022 New Zealand Karaka Yearling sales, 6 days live stream in China, which we have already introduced in Season 2, Episode 38. On the 15th and 16th of March, one of the well-known auction houses from Australia, the Magic Million, has also joined the live stream after to promote their Adelaide 2 days yearling sales.
Although horse auction live streaming in China is still something fresh, we can already see from live streaming that participants are learning from different aspects. For example, horse price, purchasing process, etc. Therefore, I think the live stream will enhance interest for potential buyers to approach auction house in the future.
Definitely. And I think auction live streaming will stay as a trend, especially under the pandemic. Talking about racing, today in our China Club session, we will bring you to the Inner Mongolia Rider Horse Industry Limited from China, Inner Mongolia.
Inner Mongolia Rider Horse Industry was established in 2006. It is a privately owned organization, owned by one of the most famous racehorse owner Lang Ling. And today, they own a race course, horse quarantine center, breeding company, horse trading company, horse feed factory, equestrian academy, and chain equestrian clubs. According to their official introduction, the company has approximately 4,500 horses today, including 1,700 imported thoroughbred with 1,200 staffs.
Also, according to their official introduction, the company today has raised a total of 440 million RMB venture capital through ABCD and E rounds of financing in China, which provides them with a unique and standout portfolio in the mainland equine industry.
Famous multiple Group 1 winner Mongolian Khan, the first horse in history to win ATC Australian Derby, New Zealand Derby, and Caulfield Cup, winning 20 million renminbi prize money. Rider horse industry has invested in creating one of the best horses for Chinese investor racing overseas. Today, the company has invested and operated thoroughbred farms in New Zealand while racing and trading in the country.
In the next 5 years, the company aims to be the biggest horse trading company in the country and import 5,000 quality horses from the USA, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand to improve local horse bloodline and create standardized race course and be a leading racing competition organizer.
Sounds like a gigantic project ahead. We wish them all the best on their journey. Zoe, we have invited a lady from Poland to our China story today. Let's listen to our conversation with Joe. Good morning, Joe. How are you doing?
Oh, hello. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you?
Great. What a good morning. So, Joe, what brings you from Poland to China?
Well, it wasn't a part of a plan at all. So, after graduating from the university, I was a backpacker. I was traveling around Europe and then the USA. And then I was supposed to just to visit China.
Mm.
But that's when I met my husband at my literally last month here in China. I met my husband, and so I never got on that plane back home.
Oh,
And it's been now 8 years, two dogs, one child, and a couple of horses.
wow, that's brave, actually. So, what do you do in China now?
Um, I think I'm extremely lucky to be able to help people make their dreams come true. And by the way, my own dreams come true. uh, which is working with the horses. So I co-own one riding club in Yangjiang that is in Guangdong in south of China next to Hong Kong. So I'm hoping you're gonna visit soon. And another one is a ranch in Wulang Putong in Inner Mongolia that is in the north of China, the Mongolian part of China. And so in Yangjiang, Guangdong, we do mostly training. So most of our customers are, young riders training. And then Ulaanbaatar, the Inner Mongolia, it's a wonderful place for the tourists. It's a wonderful place for the riders who want to spread their wings and fly on the horse through the endless grasslands. It's really an amazing experience.
It
Wow.
sounds really wonderful. How often do you travel to the two stables and how is your business going? Is it popular or how is people in China like your business?
Well, so now during the epidemic, lots of people are either locked, like Shanghai now,
Yep.
or they are scared to travel. Lots of people are scared to travel, so it's a bit challenging. That was about the Mongolian part of the business. But if it comes to Yangjiang, Guangdong, most of our customers are local. Most of the customers are from Guangdong. So it's going well. Now we're just moving to a new place. I wish I knew the Chinese name of it, but it's a really amazing place.
Nice. And John, you're from Poland. I suppose
Right.
you are a rider in Poland back then, and you have visited the world. So, what will you say the difference of equestrian atmosphere between Poland and China, maybe between the rest of the world and China? How Chinese equestrian community is special?
Mm, yeah, well, if you look at the people who are already involved in equestrian in Poland, in China, in any other country, I'd say they're very similar because it's this love to those big and gentle at the same time creatures that is the common language between the nations. But it's the amount of people that are involved in equestrian in Poland or in other European countries that differs from China, I'd say. Yes, it's an expensive sport all over the world. It's an expensive sport in every single country of the world, but it seems more approachable there. When I was young, I come
Mhm,
I come from a very small town. I come from a town of 10,000 people. I mean,
mhm,
10,000,
mhm,
and still have three riding clubs there.
mhm,
And when I was young, at the weekends, I'd ride my bike for 10 kilometers one way to work all day in the stables, just to be paid with one lesson in the end of the day. And
mhm,
that I come from a poor family, it's just I never really even thought that I could ask my parents to pay for these classes. I was just so happy that I could do that on my
mhm,
own. I could stay with those horses, that I could stay with those kids.
mhm,
Trying to say by that is, I bet lots of kids in China also have this dream. They also wish they could ride, but I mean, they have different circumstances. Maybe they worry their parents can't afford it, or maybe they are too busy with their, extra math and calligraphy classes.
Yeah.
So I just wish that there was someone who could tell them that they can, even
Mhm.
though it seems to be not approachable, even though it seems to be expensive. Everybody actually can if you really want to. So yeah,
Mm.
amount of equestrian community that differs.
Yeah, the accessibility. So you're saying the accessibility in China is maybe different, and maybe it's also, yeah, considering the size of China, the amount of people we have, and then the different development stage for the equestrian market in China. So on this stage of the development, we are standing in China. If you look at how Chinese equine industry has developed in the past few years, and you foresee the future development in maybe 3-5 years, what would you say China needs the most to help itself to better develop this industry?
What I think China needs the most is customers. How I
Mm-hmm.
see the people who are involved in equestrian in China is we are the ambassadors of this sport. So me and you, we carry that responsibility of spreading this trend among people. So more and more people can be as happy as we are. Lots of people, like I said before, think that they can't, or they are too busy, or they think they can't afford it. So if we talk to people about it, how beautiful it is, and how we
Mm-hmm.
can, then those stables, those horse riding clubs will also be more encouraged to open more and more places for the customers, and so the business will go on, right? We will support each other, the customer and the stables. So who has to start is us. We have to start talking about it. We have to start
Yeah.
educating people about this sport, that it even exists. Lots of people don't even know that it exists. I hear from
Yeah.
lots of people, horses are stinky. And I'm like, have you ever even been in a contact with a horse? Have you ever even smelled a horse? Well, no, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a farm animal, so obviously it's stinky. Well, maybe it is for some, but it isn't for me. I don't know. Why don't you go and
Mm-hmm.
check it out? Lots of people
Yeah.
don't have an opportunity to go and check it out.
Yeah.
So also one more thing is, if the Chinese government is to support and promote horse riding, not only as a leisure but also as a sport, that will soon pay off in the World Equestrian Championships as well, which I keep my fingers crossed for.
Yes, I think so. And then look what's happening in skiing. If we have the government back, I think it's more easy for Chinese customers, Chinese people to accept this sport and this chain.
Yes. Well, China is definitely paying more attention to sports in general nowadays. So I do believe that equestrian is going to be noticed, and it's going to be developing in upcoming years in China as well. And I hope I can help with that.
Cool. Wow. Thank you very much, Joy, for your sharing and your experience. I think if any our listeners are interested to know more, they have their projects, they can also talk to you and
Well,
share. I can feel your passion. You are very passionate about it.
thank you. Okay. Thank you, Jojo. Thank you, Zoe. It was a pleasure.
Yes, just stay in touch and we will come visit you one day.
All right. Good.
Take care.
Bye bye.
What a passionate lady, and I really appreciate her attitude towards what she's doing.
Totally agree. And guys, before we end up the day, please remember to subscribe and share the podcast with your friends. And we will be more than happy to get your emails at contact@wonder-horse.com.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. This podcast is co-hosted by Zoe King and Jojo Wang. Powered by Wonder Horse, a business solution provider focusing on Chinese equine market and a bespoke equine community in China.